Learning Network. Put your hand right.
Welcome to the Higher Learning Network. My name is Lawrence Lenoir, and I'm your host for today. Today's show is sponsored by iTex, the leader in barter trade for today's businesses. So you don't have to pay cash for your purchases, whether they're personal or business anymore. Today's show is also sponsored by the Higher Learning Network, the home of mystery shopping and also personal shopping surveys. Today's show is dedicated to the memory of Dr. Maya Angelou. Dr. Maya Angelou was an author, a poet, an actress. She committed her life to helping us improve ours. My life has improved tremendously because of Dr. Angelou and people like her. So we thank her for her life's work, and her memory will live on with us, and her life's work will show in our lives for generations to come. Thank you once again, Dr. Maya Angelou. Well, our guest today on the Higher Learning Network is none other than the great Darlene Tate. You've heard about her, now you're gonna see her. We welcome Darlene Tate. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Great. Darlene Tate she does so many things, but one thing she's doing now that's new, she's hosting her own internet show on intellectual radio.
Yeah.
Now, I like that name, intellectual radio. That means that I'm not going to turn to your station. I know it's online, but I'm not going to go there and have to listen to, I'm not going to put down any rap music, but I'm not going to go there and have to listen to music with people cursing, and I'm not going to hear any music at all, because this is intellectual radio. This is something that's going to help people, and your show is called Success Strategies, and
Yes.
that's something that can help people in all areas. Tell us a little bit about your show and about yourself, how you got started in business, and just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you so much. First, to answer your first question, I'm very excited about the upcoming radio show, which of course is intellectualradio.com, and it is Success Strategies. And we'll be focusing on really entrepreneurship, self-employment, aspects of entrepreneurship that people have questions about. They need more information. My belief is, as an entrepreneur, I know that I'm good at certain things, and I know that there are certain areas, like I'm weak in social media, so I know to hire someone to do that for me. I'm not a great graphic artist. That's not where my talents lie, so I know to hire someone to do that for me. My goal is to bring all of the information for the existing or aspiring entrepreneur, whether it's marketing, whether it's how to patent a product, how to copyright, board game rules, trademarks, anything that will help the business owner get their business to the next level. So that's going to be the focus of the show. So we're really excited. It starts on Tuesday, which is next Tuesday.
And what's the date?
That's June 10th.
June 10th. Okay.
Yes.
What time?
It's from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
That's a perfect time.
Yeah, we think it's pretty good time, and it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Same time on Thursday.
Yes.
Every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yes.
Now, where can they find you?
They can log on to intellectualradio.com or itlradio.com.
Now I want to get this out the way real quick, because I want to talk about this more in depth, that if they have questions, they can do what?
Well, there will be, if they can go to my Facebook page now, which is Darlene Tate, and I'll post the call-in telephone number to the radio station. But what we'll also do is we'll have kind of a live Facebook chat going on concurrently. So if people can't get to the phone, if the phone lines are jammed, they can just type their question, on the Facebook page, and you'll
answer right there on the air.
Right there, yeah, right there on the air.
Wow, that's fantastic. What you're doing, Darlene, I commend you for that, because this is not only for new and upcoming businesses. We have a lot of businesses that have failed in our community.
Yes.
Because they held on to the old ways, waiting for people to walk down the street and to their door, waiting for people to see their name on their window and come and hire them as an attorney. And they could have been much more successful had they had someone introduce them to the strategies for success.
Exactly.
So even if you're in business and been in business for 20 years, 30 years. Some of you people been in business and you're 75 years old and you're still hustling to make a dollar. It's because you refuse to let someone guide you who does it for a living. Darlene Tate is that person. Now, what about the businesses that are out here in our communities? How can you reach them? Because everybody's not computer literate.
Exactly.
You know, so how can you reach them? Because they need you.
Yeah, and you know, and I appreciate you saying that. I also produce an event called the Self Employment Expo.
Self Employment Expo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been producing that since 2007.
Okay.
And the focus, one of the reasons why I started the Self Employment Expo, again, was to connect people with information, connect them with resources, connect them with other people so that there is a symbiotic relationship so they're helping each other grow. And with the Self Employment Expo, we reach out not only to aspiring entrepreneurs who are kind of like in that idea phase, but we want to reach the existing business owners as well. So they can log onto that website. Well, I'll kind of feed in different information. And we have another one coming up in September. Date has not been set yet, but they can, you know, go to the website, which is selfemploymentexpo.com, and check in there. For the people that, you know, are not on the internet, are not on the computer, my real advice is to get on.
Now, you know, one thing that the Higher Learning Network does, that Zelda Robinson does, is teach how to make, how to start your own business with your God-given talent. And that's fantastic. Now, we have a lot of young people out here. They give parties, you know, and they know exactly how to set a party up. But what they don't understand is they're really event planners.
Right.
And that is a business. There are people that make, oh, God, I don't even want to say how much money because I know, doing event planning.
Yeah.
But they need to know how to reach the target population that's they're going to make the most money with. So this isn't just for someone who is a paralegal or someone who has a restaurant or something like that. This is for anybody who wants to start a business, who has a business or has been in business. You can help them succeed.
Exactly. I mean, it's for the person also that has an idea.
Okay.
You talk about the young people throwing the party and not realizing that they're actually event planners. I teach a class called the Young Entrepreneur Success System to high school students. And one of the reasons I started doing that, I teach at DuSable Leadership Academy. I started that because of what you just said.
Where's DuSable located?
It is on 49th and Wabash.
Okay, 49th and Wabash. So on 49th, now do they have to be students there?
They have to be students.
Okay.
And I've decided that this year I'm going to take it to other organizations, community organizations,
Other
churches,
schools.
other schools, because in our community, it's important that our children know that they can use their God-given skills and talents to not only, you know, create a hustle, but develop a business where it's profitable. They need to know that that's an option for them.
So for all you parents out there, all you pastors, all you ministers, all you community leaders, principals, anyone in a position where you oversee or see a large group of young people, you know they have talent, they have creativity, they don't want to grow up and become part of what they see in the communities every day. Contact Darlene Tate. You can hit her on Facebook. You're at Darlene Tate at Yahoo.
I'm Darlene Tate on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook.
You can reach me. My email is Darlene at selfemploymentexpo.com.
That's good. Darlene at selfemploymentexpo.com. And if you have children that go to DuSable Academy, make sure don't stop your child from succeeding by not letting them come to her workshop. Darlene Tate, talk to the principal about it. It's better to talk to the principal before you're talking to the warden. Well, Darlene, what do you have coming up?
Well, what we have coming up, of course, our first show is Tuesday on intellectualradio.com at 11 a.m. Our first guest will actually be Zelda Robinson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Kudos to Zelda.
Yeah, I mean, she has a wealth of knowledge,
dynamic
information, bootstrapping, and these stories are important for people to hear so they know that, you know, some of the challenges that they may be facing, they're not alone. And for people that are thinking about starting a business, they need to know that it's you know, attainable. So Zelda's going to be my first guest. We also will have a young lady who catered the cake pops and all the cupcakes. Beautiful, wonderful pastries, delicious. But her story is even more fascinating as what she did prior to becoming such a creative baker. So we're going to have a lot coming up, as well as the next expo in September.
Well, I thank you so much for coming on our show today. And remember, Darlene Tate, hit her up on Facebook. You've been watching the Higher Learning Network, and I'm your host, Lawrence Lenoir. We thank you all for watching, and please continue to watch for more people like Darlene Tate with success strategies on Intellectual Radio. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Darlene Tate with the Self Employment Expo, and as of next Tuesday, June 10th, you can hear me on intellectualradio.com with success strategies at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursday, same time, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's intellectualradio.com. And I'll be watching the Higher Learning Network. You should too.
Today's show is dedicated to the memory of Dr. Maya Angelou. Dr. Maya Angelou was an instrumental person in all of our lives. Matter of fact, she was an instrumental person globally. She was an author, she was a poet, she was an actress, she was an activist, she was a mother to so many of us. I just thank her so much for her commitment to life in improving our lives. She certainly impacted my life and many people I know in so many ways. Once again, we dedicate this show to Dr. Maya Angelou. She'll always live in our memories. Our guest for today is one of our community members. Now, we all hear a lot of people talk about what's going on in the community, and the community needs improvement. We need more jobs, what's happening with abandoned housing, what's happening with the education system and all that. But, here's a person who's been living in the same community for over 40 years, has seen the decline and some things get better in the community. So we see a lot of people in our community that are standing up and saying, listen, I'm not going to sit back and wait for someone to come along to try to improve my community. I'm going to take a step forth with my own ideas, my own initiative, and do something myself. Ladies, how you doing, Cynthia? Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So you have been active in the Inglewood community.
Yes,
for approximately 40 years.
Correct.
Okay. Well, what started you being active in the community? What have you done?
Well, I've started in the church, going to church with my family. Church right there in the community on the corner of the block where I live, and being involved with my mother, with the family, partaking in different events in the community and servicing seniors and doing different things, advocating on behalf of the people, being resourceful, helping the community out. That's something I've done and still is doing right now in the community.
Now, you said advocating for the people. Give me an example.
When I hear that people is looking for jobs, I do what I can to find information to forward to them. People may need help with weeds in their community, rodent problems, anything. I tell them, let me know, and I do what I can to assist them.
Now, you don't hold any office or anything. You're doing this just as a neighbor.
Just as a neighbor.
Okay, and you're not part of any organization. It's just you, Cynthia Lomax, just out there saying, if I can help you, call me.
Yes, but I am a part of other organizations within the community. I work with the 7 district CAPS. I'm sorry, with the 7 district police, go to different meetings there. I work with other organizations within the community to make it better, to turn the negative into a positive. So that's my focus, turning the negative into a positive.
Now, I know you had spoke to me about abandoned buildings, and that's a big issue in our communities. A lot of abandoned properties, and I know if a person wants to purchase some of these abandoned buildings or vacant lots, they have to go down to City Hall and they have to go through a lot of red tape. to get that. And you were saying that you have a simpler way for each community to find out more information about these abandoned buildings so they could be attainable by maybe somebody in the community.
Correct.
Expound on that.
Well, I think it should be a location within the community, on site.
A location in the community?
In the community,
okay.
hands-on for the sake, to assist the people, being resourceful again, for the community, the resident that live in the community firsthand. Not just investors, that's fine, but we need people that want to be stakeholders, to be there to raise their family and replenish the community.
Okay.
Thrive like a community should thrive.
Okay. So you're saying that if I see an abandoned building on my block, I should be able to go 2 or 3 blocks over to some centralized location and say, hey, how can I acquire this property at such and such an address, rather than go way downtown? Each community should have their own centralized location. That's what you're saying? Am I correct?
That is correct. Yes, you are.
Okay, that's a good idea. Now, you were talking about businesses as well, because we have a lot of businesses in our community, and you were talking about the reinvestment. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, yes, it's to bring jobs and hope to the community. Offer the youth something to turn their energy into a positive way to focus into the community, to make them feel more a part in the community, not just hanging out on the street, and to show them a better way. So
community businesses should be hiring some young people.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. You know what? That's an excellent idea. One other thing that you talked about was our schools.
Yes.
Our schools. And you got something else, the jobs in the community. But you talked about our schools. You was talking about the education, the level of education that our children are getting, and what they're allowed to do with it, and whether they're actually being encouraged to continue their education, or the ones who might not get all A's, are they just kind of cast aside, increasing our dropout rate. So let's talk a little bit about that. What would you do about that situation, our education situation?
I would think we would need more parents more involved, as well as the churches in the community, to participate in taking pride in assisting these children, because you never know where their God-given gift is going to lead them. And who wouldn't want to be a part of educating and supporting the youth that's focusing on going further in life? I think if we bring resource centers, the tutoring centers in the community, everyone can't just get on the bus, and everyone doesn't have a vehicle to just move around to get their children back and forth. So if we have things centrally located in the community that can benefit the community, and that means our resources can stabilize the community.
You know, it's something you said was very important. You said, who wouldn't want to help educate their children? And that's a question you all need to ask yourself as parents. Who wouldn't want to help educate their children? Are you helping your children with their homework? Are they getting enough time doing their homework? And another thing you said that's very important is the tutoring centers.
Yes.
We need tutoring centers in our community.
Yes.
To help our children.
Yes.
You know, some of the things that you have said are very important, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I'm sure a lot of our watchers do, our viewers, everybody, listeners, everybody agrees with the fact that we need to work on getting our young people employed, our young people more educated, and we had to do something about these abandoned lots and abandoned buildings in the property. So you have any plans for the future?
Well, my real near future plans are, I'm considering running for the 16th Ward Alderman in the Inglewood community.
Oh, you're considering that?
I'm considering that, yes, I am. Strongly I am. Because I've been a resident over 40 years, stakeholder over 40 years within the community. I've advocated, I've assisted, I've serviced, and that's a passion of mine, and I enjoy doing what I do.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming on our show today. Ms. Cynthia Lomax, once again, from the Inglewood area, and you've been watching the Higher Learning Network. I'm your host, Lawrence Lenoir.
My name is Sheona Crystal, and I feel very privileged today to have an opportunity to give one of the many tributes to Maya Angelou, Dr. Maya Angelou, who truly, at a time when my little wings were clipped, helped me to rise up and fly again. Yes, she was so generous with her words and unafraid to use them. She was truly a phenomenal woman. She helped me to use words to lift my spirit, to help others to do the same. And I hope that in some way, the poem that I've written as a tribute will help you to fly and feel what she wanted all of us to feel, and more importantly, to act. She was a woman of strength and dignity. She had no fear of old age. When she spoke words that were wise. And kindness was the rule for everything that she said. And truth also. There are many fine women in the world, but she was the best of many. The scriptures say that charm can be deceptive and beauty doesn't last. But a woman that fears and reverences God, that woman will be forever praised. My poem is entitled Celebration. Did you hear a whisper from my heart? An escaped refugee, wanting, searching, needing someone like me. A phenomenal woman, free of superficiality. No, I'm not overly concerned with the latest fashion styles or harmful gossip. And my dear, my neck does not bob back and forth with my hands to tear the people that I love down. My breasts, they are full, soft, proud. And my arms, they embrace you and they enfold you, my friends and my family, in gardens of comfort and tranquility, closing off the outside world when you're feeling down. My hips, they're bountiful, and I choose not to confine them in some man-made spandex. And they sway and jiggle joyfully as I walk, a dance full of life, happiness, and the joy that I feel as a beautiful Black woman. And no, I am not anorexic, bulimic, or painfully thin. And I refuse to be typecast, stereotyped, and put in those terrible clothes the designers want to put me in. And in spite of it all, in spite of everything, I love everything outside of me. That is you. That is you. That is you. That is you. But especially from within. Everything within. For God, yes, God, He has been merciful, so merciful. And He's healed the parts, that is my heart, that I could not mend. Yes, I have been down on the ground many times and even heard them count to 10. And yet today you see here, somehow I stand. But you see, one of the reasons why is because this phenomenal woman remains in God's hands. So celebrate your lives and your DNA, because you are one, the only one that has it, which makes you unique. Sheona Crystal, and you are watching the Higher Learning Network.
I would like for you to email info@higherlearningnetwork.org. That's info@higherlearningnetwork.org to find out how to lower your cable bill. Now, we are grateful that you tuned in to our show today, and there are questions that you might have had about the show, and you can go on to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/hln-tv show. That's facebook.com/hln-tv show. We have some questions that we'd like for you to answer, what you liked about today's show, what inspires you the most, and what really gives you road rage. That's something that everybody should be going on Facebook to answer. And hashtags, hashtag HLNNFP, all lowercase. We thank you for joining us on the hln-tv network, Higher Learning Network. Stay tuned for all of our programs, and be sure to contact us on Facebook. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend, a great night, a great month, and a great life.
Latifah, and you're watching ZTV on the Higher Learning Network. Latifah, and you're watching ZTV on the Higher Learning Network.